This conference will now be recorded.
Perfect. Let's start. Let us have a quick reminder, right? Even I would like to recall what we did in the last class. The last class, I believe we were doing interfaces. We have seen interface with attribute. We have seen interface with method, right? And the only thing that was left was interface with event. Is that correct? Or we did the interface with event also? Can somebody recall it? What we did in the last class? I remember that we were doing interfaces.
Yes, sir.
So did we complete it interface with event?
No.
Right, let me check it. Interface attribute, interface method. Perfect. This is
Both
what
are
we did.
over. Yeah.
Right. Now, today, let us see interface with event. By the way, once again, recall. What is an interface? Whenever you want to share a common Lightning element across all the Lightning component or application, we call them as interface. For example, attribute, right? There are certain attribute I use again in every component. Rather than writing an attribute in every component, I will declare them inside an interface, right? If you remember, name, phone, fax, a field which I'm using in 20 different components, I can declare them directly in an interface, so I don't need to declare 20 times. I will just use that interface, right, in the component by using a keyword implements. Aura component implements the interface name. Within interface, you can share an attribute. Within interface, you can share a method. Within interface, you can share an event. In the previous class, we have been doing interface with attribute, interface with method, and today I'm going to show you how to share an event with an interface. An event with an interface you can share, right? So, file, new. First, I'm going to create an event, a Lightning event. What is that? LE underscore 0904 underscore example1 underscore, right? Event, EVT, interface, INT, INTERFAC. I copy the name because I need this. Control C. Let me open a notepad. Here we go. Right. Let's put it in the screen. Paste. And I click on submit. I just created an interface. Sorry, I just created an event. I'll change it to component event. COMPONENT component event. Right. I want to declare certain things inside this event. So I have a closing tag. Inside the event, I will declare an attribute. Aura attribute. Right, inside the event, I've declared an attribute. Name equals to employee name. Employee name. Type equals to string. So I declared what? I created an event, and inside the event, the event will not only carry the behavior, it'll also carry, or it'll also pass some attribute. So I created an interface. So event. Now I will create an interface. File, new, Lightning interface. I will say LI. LI. Lightning interface, right? I will say, let it be same name, LI 19904 example1 event interface. Let me copy this. Earlier was the event. Now I'm creating an interface. I created an interface and I click on subnet. An interface got created. Let me close it. In the interface, let it be interface, right? Inside this, I don't want to share attribute. I don't want to share method. What interface you want to create? I want to create an interface with an event. Now here we go. I will go ahead and I will register an event. Aura, R-E-G-I-S-T-R, register event. That means any component application calling this interface can fire an event. Whoever wants to fire, they have to register an event, if you remember. So I'm registering an event inside an interface. Aura, register event, right? Name. For component event, nickname is very important. For application event, the nickname has no value, absolutely zero value. So here, right, I will give, right, if you remember, I was giving Shona, Gina, anything I can give. Name equals to Bangaram, name equals to, right, anything. So in component event, name, nickname is mandate. Nickname has very much importance. In application event, if you remember, the nickname I was giving waste, because nickname was not important in application event. Here, the event that we created is a component. So my nickname is very important. Second D, third D. So here I will give, right, INTERFACE, interface. Event name is interface, right? I can give inface. Name is inface, right? That's good. Next, right? Type. Type equals to, here we have to give the name of the interface that we are using, right? The event that we created, we have to give the name there. C colon, the event name, LE. Right. Perfect. My event is created. The same event I have registered inside an interface. Now it is a time for us to use this in the components. Any component in the project can now implement this interface and they can use component event. That means, in other words, in one project, I can have only one interface with event. I don't need to create multiple events. Oka project, one event will be enough. One event will be enough. One component event, one application event will be enough. You don't need to create 20 events, 30 events in your project. With interface, you can start sharing event. Events can also be shared across component. Event can be shared across application. That means in one project, in whole Apollo Hospital project, one event is enough. One application, one component. Two event is enough. Rupam, there is a component A, component B. Between A and B, I want component event. You can use this interface. There's another component, X and Y and Z, X, Y, Z. A button is clicked on Z, X should react, Y should react, X should react. It's a component event. You don't need to create a new event. You can use this interface. There's another component, MNOPQ, where the button is clicked on P, MNO should react. It's a component event behavior. Will that have to create a new event? No, you can use this interface. That means I have three different requirements. I don't need to create three different events. I can use this interface and one event is enough to manage all the three requirements. In simple word, if I have 100 event requirement in a project, right? If this concept is not there, interface concept, then you are supposed to create 100 individual events. 100 individual events. Now, because you have an interface available, you are not required to create 100 individual events. You can just create one event, put it inside the interface, and let all the 100 component uses those interface. If all the 100 use those interface, then all the 100 can use a single event, even though it's a single event, but it'll work or it'll act as 100 different events. If you remember the previous class, even though there was an attribute called Rupam, even though there was an attribute called as name, but in different component, in different application, the attribute was working differently. It was not conflicting. If I put the name as Rupam in the second component, Rupam doesn't appear, Ravi appears. Because in the second component, you're inserting the name called Ravi. In the third component, Sham, Ravi will not interfere with Sham because it's a different component. Based on component, the interface will act individually. It will look like as if there are 100 interfaces, but actually there is a one interface, right? Actually it'll look like as if there are 100 events, but actually there is only one event. And all the one event is put inside interface, and every 100 components or whichever component are implementing that interface. So now I have an event created. That event is registered inside an interface. Now we will see the use of this. How to use this, right? How to use this interface, right? So guys, you're able to understand? Everyone able to understand? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you have not revised the previous class, then you might have some problem. You will be able to see that it's bouncing a little bit, right? It is a continuation or follow-up of all the previous classes that you have done so far, right? So I will definitely recommend you to please go ahead and see the interface classes, right? Interface classes, interface with attribute, interface with method, and then come and look on this class, right? Perfect. Now let's continue. What I'm going to do, let me draw with a diagram, paint, right? What I'm going to do. First, what we did, we created an interface. This is an interface. INTERFACE, interface. Inside the interface, right, I have created an event. Let's say that. Let me put in a star mark. This is an event. Event. Inside the event, there is an attribute. EMP name. One attribute is there inside this event. All right. I'm just trying to put a representation of what we did so far. That interface, that event we called inside the interface. I'll put the line colors as different. You called it inside here. Inside the interface, you have called it. This is what we have did so far. Event is separate. You call the event inside an interface. Right? Now, what is the next thing? Next thing is that there are two applications. Let me go ahead and show you. Application 1 and another application. Here, there are components. One component, two component. Here, single component. Inside this, there's a one more component. And inside this, there's a one more component. Here also one more component. Here, there's a button in this component. Button. I'll color the button. Here, a button is in this component. Right? Let us. Oh, okay, no, we'll not put it there. We will put it here. There's a button here. Right? Perfect. There we go. Let me color the components. Application, application. Two different application. Brother, brother, brother. Then pink, pink. Let it be. This is A1 I'll start giving name. Application 1, this is application 2. This is C1, this is C2. Here also this is C1 because that's a different application. Here it is C111 and the last one is C1111. Here C11. Two different applications. I want whenever a component, whenever the button is clicked, right? Whenever the button is clicked, I want the event to flow up. In the first application, how the event will flow? How the event will flow? In A1, who will receive the event? When the button is clicked in C111, who will receive the event?
C111.
C111, then
C1
C1, then
and A1.
C2.
why C2? In component event, why C2 will come?
No, in component only bubbling and capture just.
Only bubbling. That's it. It'll go up like this, right? That means it'll go up like this. That's it. So C11 will receive, C111 will receive, C1 will receive, A1 will receive. Here also, who will receive? Who will receive? Same thing.
C11, C1, A2. C111.
Right.
C1,
C111,
A2.
C1, A2. That's it. C11, C single one, and A2. How many events do you need? Now tell me. How many events you have to create? Because these are two different applications, you are supposed to create two events. But here, if there are n number of applications like this, right? If there are n number of applications like this, then you don't need to create n number of events. That is the goodness of interface. Interface benefit ఏంటిది? The benefit of interface is that you just need to create, right, one element and all the three can use now. See, there's a one more application, A3. Let's assume there's one more application, A3. A3, bold. A3. I don't need three different events. Actually, you require three different events. Three component event has to be created. Now, I will not create three different event. I will just subscribe to the interface. That's it. One event, one interface. But it'll act like a three different interfaces. Three different event it'll act like, as if there are three different events. But realistically, there is only one event created. That event we put inside the interface. And that interface is now connected to three different applications. And all the three will look like as if there are three events. Everybody is able to understand what is the purpose of an interface. With interface, you can share an element. This time we are sharing event. Last class we have shared Aura method. Last class we have shared attributes. This class we are sharing event. What event? Application event. Ardhamautunda? Yes or no? I'm trying level best to make you understand the concept. The reason is that last week there was no class. There was a gap. Whenever there's a gap, you guys first of all are not referring the documents. I mean the videos. Yedo video kavale ante. But other than this, seeing the videos, nobody is doing. Hardly selective people are doing. That's it. Clear everyone before I do this programming? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Now I'm not going to do A3. I will just do A1 and A2. That's it. A3 piece I will not do. This piece, right? This piece I will not do. Okay, we will just do A1 and A2. You can do A3 also, A4 also, A5 also, your wish, right? Due to the time constraint, we will restrict only to 2 different applications. If it works for 2 different applications, then definitely will work for more than 1 application, because I'm taking more than 1. So my whole intention is to prove that one event can be shared by more than 1 application. That is what the purpose is. Now let's go ahead and do that. Here we go. File, new, Lightning component, right? I will see LC, Lightning component. Example 1, interface with event. I will say A1, all these things I'll put as A1. A1, where the button is fired on C111. A1, C111. Here the button is fired. Let me copy the name, right? Now I'm creating A1 family. A1, C111. Perfect. Save. One component got created. This is the component which is going to fire the event. This is the component which is going to fire the event. Whoever wants to fire, they have to use, right, register event, right? And first thing, implements. Implements equals to the interface name, C colon. Where is the interface? Here is the interface. Li interface. Here's the interface. I will use lightning card, LIGHTNING, lightning card. Title equals to A1 C111. This is A1 C111. Fire the event. Fire the EVENT. This will be firing the event. To fire event, I need a button, right? Lightning, BUTTON button. Label equals to submit. On click equals to exclamation C dot firmi. Over. You don't need to register the event. Why? Because the register of event is already done here. So you need not to re-register the event here. So I'll say fire me. Here we go. Controller. I go to the firmi. What do you want to do? Right? First, find the event. Here in the controller, you have to find the event. Right? And then you have to fire the event. This is how we do this. Right? So how to get an event? Var EVT. Var EVT equals to component dot get event. Component dot get event. You have to give the name of the event. The name of the event, nickname. What is the nickname we gave? Infacy. Find Infacy. Right? Next what? In that event, there is an attribute. So you have to set the attribute. EVT dot set params. EVT dot set params. What do you want to set? I want to set in that event. Where is the event? Here is the event. There's an EMP name. I want to set EMP name with what? I'm hard coding the value Rupam. Here you can get a attribute and you can say NM. But now I'm hard coding the value. No Rupam, don't hard code, put some value there. Okay, then we will have an input. We'll declare an input, right? LIGHTNING lightning input. If you don't want to hard code, then let's have input. Label equals to employee name. Whatever you apply here, I need to have an attribute. Aura ATTRIBUT attribute. Aura attribute, right? Aura attribute. Name equals to a name, ANM. Type equals to string, right? Control S on the keyboard, no issues, right? Value, now I'm using here. Value equals to whatever you enter here equals to exclamation V dot ANM. Control S. Now I take this ANM. I come here. I say var NM equals to component dot get. Get what? Get the attribute. Which attribute? V dot ANM. And it's stored in NM. And that I'm passing it to, I'm passing it to event. And then I'm firing the event. EVT dot fire.
Sir, set param values are in JSON format.
It has to be in a JSON format. That's correct. Perfect. Always set param has to be in a, right? Whenever you're using component dot, right? EVT dot, right? You're setting the param. It has to be in a JSON format. My mistake. See, somebody recalled it correctly. JSON. All set param has to be in a JSON format. Here we go. Employee name, right? Set params in a JSON format. Control S, and then we fire the event. Over. So I have fired the event. Now this component want to receive. Whoever wants to receive, they have to use what? Handler. We are not registering the handler with the interface. Remember that. Only firing part is registered. Only firing part. Handler part has to be done by the individual component. Right? I will say aura handler. Whoever wants to handle. HANDLER handler. Aura handler. Name. What is the name? Name equals to, right? What is the name we gave? Infasy. Name equals to Infasy. Aura handler. Event. Event equals to, right? Event equals to C colon. Event name. What was the event name? This was the event name. LE. Event name. Event name. Right? Whenever this event is fire, action. Action equals to C dot show me. C dot show me has to be called. C dot show me has to be called. Where is C dot show me? Control C. I go to the controller. Right here, comma. I put it here. There we go. Control C. Show me. Here is the show me. I will say in the show me, I need to get the parameter from the event. Whatever the data you have passed, right? I need to get the parameter from the event. So what will you do? How do you get the parameter from an event? Right? How do you get the parameter from an event? What is the command? What is the command? Does anyone, right? Var n equals to, what is that? Event dot get param. Don't forget. I don't know why you guys are, not reviewing these all. It has to be there. PARAM. Event dot get param. What is the param name? The parameter name in the event is EMP name. Whatever the data that has been stored there, get it. And then I will say alert. Whatever you want to do with this data, you can do it. I will say, hi, good morning. I heard, hi, good morning. I want the name of the person. Plus NMMMMM plus. I heard the button click. Hi, good morning, Rupam, Ravi. I heard the button click. Perfect. There we go. We just completed in the diagram C11, which is pink. Now C41 also wants to hear. Oh, it should be 11. Okay, anyhow, fine. I give a name 111, no, so let it be. Let's go ahead with that same mistake only. It should be 11. But anyhow, fine. We made it 111, so let it be 111 only. Right now, I'm making one more component. File, new, lightning component. LC41. 4 ones. Control C. 41 should be below this. I click on submit. LC411111 also wants to receive the event. Will he receive the event? Will this component receive the event? Yes or no? Will this component receive the event?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
C1111, C41 will receive the event? Yes or no? The white component.
Yes, sir.
Really? Come on. You guys are forgetting the basic concept. Component even never travel down. It travel
No,
always
sir.
up.
No, sir. No.
C111 white color box will never receive the event. Component event travels up. It never travels down. No inheritance. Even C111 is trying to hear the event. He will not. A1 C111 wants to hear the event. Event. There is no button. I don't need any button. Right? A1 C11111. I'm just taking it. This also wants to hear the event. Whoever wants to hear the event will register the event. Here we go. It's registering the event. Right? It's registering the event. Show me. Even if it wants to hear, it cannot hear, guys. So no. Answer is not yes. Answer is no. Right? I go to the controller. Okay. Here we go. I go to the controller and I copy this message. Same thing. Control C. Show me. Right? Hi. Good morning. Right? I am. Okay, let me put it. I am C11. I am C11141. This message shouldn't be visible. Idi manaki kanpadakodadu. This message shouldn't be visible, right? I shouldn't be able to see this message. C111. This message shouldn't be visible, right? This message C111 should be visible. Hi, I am C111. This message should be visible, not C41s. Now, C41 is a child component of C111. So here is the C111. Inside this component, I'm calling C colon. C41s. It became the child. C, right? It's something like this. Let me. That's okay. But drag and drop is not possible. Okay, fine. Now, as per the diagram, C41 is inside C31. C111 is inside C1. Let me create C1. Is it C1 should be able to receive the event? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
right? Everything is yes only. Yes. See, always the button was clicked here. Anybody up above will be able to receive the event. So now it is C1, submit. C1 also wants to receive the event. Let's close it. Here we go. Right. I copy the same thing. In fact, copy this. Control C. I come here. Control A, delete, control. Here I will say A1, C1 wants to receive the event. A1, C1 wants to receive the event. Control C. Right. Now I go here to the controller. I copy the whole controller. Control C. Right. I close it. I come to A1, C1. I click on the controller and I copy paste that controller and I say, hi, this is C1. Good morning, whatever the name. I'm C1. I heard the button click. Is this message to be visible? Yes. C1, right? This is a child, right? C111 is a child of C1. So that means in the C1, I have to call C111. Inside C111, I'm calling C41s. C111. I'm calling it. C111. Control S. Over. This I will call inside A1. File. New. Lightning application. LA. I will say A1, A1 or A1. Let it be A1. This is an application, right? This is an application. Here we go. A1 is the application. Now I click on submit. An application got created. Inside the application, I will call C colon A1 C1. Application also wants to receive the event. Yes, sir. Then application should also use handler. Application also should use handler. Whoever wants to receive, they have to use handler. Show me. Where is the show me? Controller, let me copy the show me. Control C. Show me. Here we go. Controller. I remove and I say show me. Hi, this is A1. I heard the event. Application also has to implement interface. Otherwise, it will not work. Implement the interface. See, component can implement interface. Application can also implement interface. Control S. Over. Now you see preview. Oh, right. In the application, right, we have implemented what? Right? Comma. Right? FORC force. FORC force SLDS. Let's see. System is taking the comma or not. Control S. Right? Implements. See? Okay. I'm not able to implement force SLDS because I'm already implemented one interface. Right? Comma. System is not taking it. Semicolon. Control S. System is not taking it. Let us use
Sir,
two
outside
interfaces.
should write
Sorry?
extends equals to force outside.
EXT, NDS. Okay. Extend. No, I'm just trying to show you. Right? So implements will take only interfaces, and if you remember implements, right? Implements will take interfaces and it will take those check boxes. You remember? when we deployed it, right, force has record ID, app hostable, right, record pay available for record page. There you can give it a comma. There you can give it a comma, right? So here, FORC force SLDS, Control S. Now let us go ahead and check it out. Here we go. This shouldn't be able to hear the message. When I click submit, C111, C1, A1, ante, name, Rupam. If I have made everything correct, it should be working. Submit. Hi Rupam. Hi, good morning Rupam. I am C111. I can hear the event. Then, hi Rupam, I am C1. Hi Rupam, I am A1. Over. You didn't got the message from hi Rupam, C1111, because this will not receive the event. Why? Because it's a component event. See, we did this piece. We did this piece. Irrigation. Now the same interface I can use in another set of application. Another set of application. Idi oka set. Idi oka set. This is whole one set. Inside this, there's an application. There is a 3 components. We didn't create it C2 actually. ఇది కూడా మనం create చేయలేదు. Will this receive the event? Will this receive the event? Will C2 receive the event?
No.
No.
Sir.
Andike, that is the reason I didn't created it. If you want, you can create it, but that will not receive the event. Even if it wants to receive the event, the way this didn't receive the event, this C1 cannot receive the event. Why? C1111 white component will not receive the event. Why? Because this is a component event. Component events always travel upward. See, where is the event? The event is here. The event is put inside the interface. That interface you have connected to the application. Not only application, you have connected that interface to every component. Every component you have connected. See, guys, able to understand? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now I will create A2. You will see that I will not create another event. Here the requirement is different, right? Here, let's say that here we'll remove it. We will change our requirement once again. I'm deleting it. I'm deleting it. Here the requirement is different. Here only 2 components and the button is here. If I click the button, who will receive the event? Who will receive the event?
C1
A2.
C1 and A2. And this is a complete different application. You can see that it has nothing to do with A1 application. Idi kotta application. So that means I can close all these. Yanta close cheskochu. I can create a new, but both will work. Right? But because I need to copy, so I'm using new lightning component. LC. I will see A2 C1. I'm now creating a separate A2 C1. Here we go. A2 C1. I go ahead and I click on submit. Right? In the A2 C1, what I will do? There also I will say implement. See, separate application, but akkada kuda same interface we are implementing. Right? Next, let me copy this. Control C and let me put it here. I will say A2 C1. A2 C1. Here the button name is different. Button name is, right, not submit. Button name is, right, what is that? Save. Control S. Here it's not employee name. It is, I will say, applicant name. Here I will say it's a C1. Fire the event. Control S. Right. Now I go to the controller. Right. Let me first copy from here. Whatever the controller is there, let me copy it. Control C. Close. Let me go to the A2C1 controller and let me replace this. Control, right? I am C1. Hi, good morning. I am A2C1. Right? I heard the event. Right? Did we write in this? Did we write handler also? Yes. There's a handler also in A2C1. Now I will create A1 directly. File, new, application, LA. This is A2. All in the same example and I am creating. LA, A2. Copy this name. Here we go. Workaday component, one application. Here, A1, so many components. Here, A2, only one component. Submit. A2 got created. Right? I will copy the same thing. Control C. I'll come here and I'll paste it. Control V. Right? Here, rather than right this one, I will copy the component that we created. A2C1. Control C. Done. I'm going to the A1 application. I'm clicking on the controller. Control A, Control C, close it. I'm going to the A2. I'm clicking on the controller. Control A, Control V. Here, I'm saying I'm A2. Control S. Now click on preview. Two different applications are there. This is A1 and this is A2. In the A1, it is called employee name. In the A2, it is called applicant name. Here I'll go ahead and I'll say Ravi. Ravi. I'll say save immediately. Hi, good morning, Ravi. I'm A2C1. I heard the click. Hi, good morning, Ravi. I'm A2. I heard. Here, I click the button. Hi, Rupam. See, the data is not getting conflicted. See, both the application are working individually. Here, you have given a data Rupam. Here, you have given a data Ravi. That means this attribute employee name is holding Rupam and Ravi. Suppose there is a 3 application taking the interface, then Swati. That means you see that Okate attribute, only one attribute is holding 3 different values, but they are not conflicting with each other. For the first A1, it's Rupam. For A2, Ravi. For A3, Swati. That means, right? What does that mean? That means is that even though you have used the same interface for here also, for this also you have used the same interface, but it's working like a, right, same interface we have implemented. In the interface, there is only one event, Okate event only, but it is acting like a 2 different event now. See, A1's data is now not messing up with A2's data. A2 data is not getting conflicted with A3's data. Finally, there is only one attribute, but it is acting like there's a 3 attributes. If there is a 1 attribute, then if you enter Rupam in the first, then immediately the A2 should also show Rupam, because in the attribute Rupam is stored. But no, there it's showing Ravi. So you can understand that these events are working as an individual event, even though it's a single event. I didn't create 2 different events. I didn't create 2 different attributes. I created a single event with a single attribute. But now, with the help of interface, these events are connected with the help of interface. Hence, right, it is acting as individual events, even though there is 1 event. But I have not created 3 different events. But it looks like as if there is a 3 different event. This is the goodness of interface. That means in a project, you don't need to create 3 different events. You can just create 1 event and you can use it in 3 different requirements. A1 is a separate requirement, A2 is a separate requirement, A3 is a separate requirement, A4 is a separate requirement. You don't need to create 4 events. You just need to create 1 event, put it inside the interface, let every requirement implements the interface, and the interface will, right, allow the event to act individually. Guys, able to understand the concept? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Reusability, right, sir?
Reusability. That's exactly the concept. Let's not create 20 different events. Let's create only 1 event and reuse it in 20 different application or 20 different requirement in the same project. That means in one project, 1 event is enough. You don't need to create 20 different component event. You don't need to create 20 different application event. In every project, 2 event is enough. 1 application, 1 component. And anybody can call it, anybody can use it, and they will work like individual events. Understood, guys? I just did the A1, A2. Now you can do A3 also. In the A3, you can enter Swati. All the button you can click at a time, but the event will not disturb with each other. Everybody clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Anybody has any questions? Anybody has any questions?
No, sir.
Understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Perfect. Perfect. Now, did I told you about helper? I believe yes.
Sir.
Yes,
No.
we discussed about
No.
no?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, I believe I showed you helper. Helper dot. You go ahead and you can call a helper. I believe I remember I've showed you helper.
Sir.
Go ahead and check the previous class. I believe we have done helper. Check the video where you can write all the program in the helper and then you can call, if you remember the diagram, paint, I'm drawing it. Component will call controller, controller will call helper. I believe I have already showed you. This is a component. A component will call controller. Controller can call helper, right? If you
No,
remember
sir.
this,
No, sir. No, sir.
no?
No, sir.
Not in, sir.
Not
No,
not
sir.
discussion.
Okay,
No.
fine then. If it's not done, let's do the helper today. What is a helper? Any type of common program, if you want to put, you can put them in a helper, right? This is controller. This is component, C-O-M-P-O-N-E-N-T component. A component, there is a button. Let's assume that there is a button. This is the button. A button. Whenever you click the button, immediately system will call an action in the controller. Right? First thing component call is controller. A controller can call helper. Remember that a component directly cannot call helper. Ilagadu. This is not possible. Directly a button, can it call a helper? No, this is not possible. This is right. A component can call a controller. A controller in turn will call helper. Both are JavaScript. Got it now? Yes or no? Everyone, what is a helper? Before I do the programming, you can put anything in the helper and you can start calling them. Guys, able to understand? Yes or no? You write
Yes,
a
sir.
program in the controller. You write a program in the controller. ఈ అన్ని program, now you are writing a program in the controller. This program you can now write here. Button will call the controller. Controller will call the helper. What is the use of helper? To write the most common programs. Whenever you have something common, right? In such case, you write helper. Ardham kaledu? Let's do it a simple example first. Right? Let me close this one. Close all. Right? File, new, lightning component. Right? Let me create lc underscore 0904 example2 underscore helper 1 helper1 helper1. I create a component. Let me show you what I'm creating. Right? I will say, right, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do. Perfect. Aura, aura attribute. Let me show you with this simple example. Aura attribute. Name equals to msg1. Type equals to string. Right? Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. msg1, message2, message3, message4. Now I will create a card. light lightning card, right? Lightning card. Right? Here I will say lightning card. Right? Title, title. Title equals to wishes. Now I will have two buttons, light lightning button. Lightning button. Label equals to good morning. Button name is good morning. On click equals to exclamation c.gm. There is another button. Good evening. Good evening. GE. Finally, whenever you click the button, the message will be displayed here. Bold tag. Right? Above that, one paragraph I'm giving. Bold tag. Star. The message will be displayed below. Message will be displayed below. Right? Let's assume that you have name also. Lightning input. Label equals to enter name. Value, whatever you enter here, msg1. Perfect. Let us compose this. What happened? Line number 3, G found GE. exclamation GEE, Control S. Perfect. G is a system keyword, so it's taking it. So let's leave it. Right. Done. Now I'm going to say, right, message. Hi. Hi. The name has to come. Where is the name? The name is exclamation. The name is stored in MSG1. Exclamation V dot
E
MSG1.
dot.
V dot. Hi, Rupam. Then continuously I want to show the messages. Hi, Rupam. After that, whatever it is. Message 2, message 3, message 4. Message 2, message 3, message 4. Let's put it a separate line so that you will understand it far better. Right? Whatever is there in this attribute, this message will be displayed. After each one of them, I'm giving a paragraph tag. Paragraph, 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 paragraph. Control S. Perfect. There is GM, there is GE. So I go to the controller. I say GM. There's a one more. Control C, comma. One more is GE, double E. Good evening. Here, I'm simply saying component.set. Set. Set what? Set V dot. Message 1 is the name. I'm not disturbing that. Message 2 I'm taking. Message 2. Set it to good morning. Now there are 3 messages like this. Message 2, message 3, message 4. There are up to 4 attributes are there. Here I will say good morning. Next, how are you? How is everyone at home? How is everyone at home? Similarly, same message I copy in here. Here I will say good evening. How are you? How is everyone at home? Over. First see the output and then we will discuss what we are doing. File, new, Lightning application. I copy the name. LA. Submit. It's an application. Call the application, call the component here. There we go. I call the component. Extends. Force SLDS. Click on preview. There we go. Yeah. Message 1. Name equals to message 1 now. From where it came? Let us see. Name. Attribute name. Type string. Perfect together. Oh. V dot. Enter the label equals to enter value. Value equals to. Come on. Value equals to V dot message 1. Come on, now it should be good. That's the reason I was thinking from where it came. There we go. You type here, name, Rupam. I click good morning button. I'll say hi Rupam. Okay, let me put it in another paragraph tag here. Right below this also I'll put a paragraph tag. Control S. Now let me run this. There we go. Right, Rupam. I say good morning. Hi Rupam, good morning. How are you? How is everyone at home? I click good evening button. Hi Rupam, good evening. How are you? How everyone is at home? You see that both good morning, good evening has this two line common. Two line common. Including the first line also. Hi Rupam is also common. Only thing that is changing is the second message. Good evening. If you press good morning button, then the second message change. Good morning. MSG2 is changing. MSG3 and MSG4 are remaining same. These are between the two. If I go to the now the controller, you see here also same, here also same. Whenever you have a common program, why can't we write a helper? Now I go to the helper. I give a helper name, my HLPR. See, my HLPR. This helper is used for the component. Copy. Actually, if you copy all the three, I'll be more happy. If you copy all the three, exactly this thing, here also you have to do exactly this thing. My helper, right? And then copy the common program. What is the common program? This is the common program. Control C, common program. This is the common program. Control S. Come here, remove the common program, delete. Here also delete. Call the helper. HELPR, helper dot, name of the helper. What is the name of the helper we gave? My helper. My helper. In the bracket, this is for the component. Put component. See, helper dot my helper. The button is calling the controller. The controller is executing one particular line and then it's calling the helper. In the helper, my remaining lines are there. For both the program, right? Message 3 and message 4 is common. So I put them in the helper and I'm calling the helper here. Helper dot name of the helper, bracket component. This is how you call it. See, over. Now the thing will work again. There's no change in the working style. Refresh. Name Rupam. Good morning. See, hi, good morning. How are you? Good evening. See, this two pieces coming from helper. This one piece is coming from the controller, right? The button is calling the controller. Controller is executing. Wherever it's finding helper, it's going to the helper and then it's executing helper. Understood, guys? Yes or no? Yes or no? The button is calling the controller. The controller in turn is now calling the helper. Ardhamainda? Yes or no? Any
Yes.
common program you can put in helper and you can call them whenever required. Yes. That is the work of an helper. What is the work of an helper? This is the work of an helper. Any common program can be written inside an helper and it can be called. Rupam, can we do anything? Yes. Let me close this. Close. I'll say close all. Let us open any previous program, any program. Lightning. Let's open this. What is that? We did something called search Irondu. If you remember, I'm opening it. Component and application. I'm opening it. I go to the application preview. I preview it. Let me see. Here I type a search. It is giving me all the accounts with A with a tabular format in a tile format. Now let us come here. I'm going to the component. Yeah, in that I'm going to the controller. Here is the controller. What is the controller name? Search me. Inside this controller, this is the masala. The search me. There are two. See, search me is here and creamy. That is to create a table, column. Now, whatever is there in the search me, ding, 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 control X. I've cut it. I'm going to the helper. And in the helper, I'm writing SR me. Some name I'm giving, that's it. And whatever the program was there in the controller, I'm pasting in the helper now. In the helper, I will definitely recommend you to use this. Control S, one helper is created. What is the helper name? SR me. Now come to the controller. Here, how to call a helper? Helper dot, name of the helper. And here, you can give component or you can give actually everything. Over. Who is calling the search me button? Right. Who is calling this search me button? Right. Let me go to the okay, sorry. This button, right? Whenever you click the button called search, it's calling a function called search me. Where is the search me? Search me is in the controller. Yeah, after the search me comes, there is no program. The program is written inside where? The controller is now calling the helper. In the helper, it is calling SR me. In the helper, I've written SR me. With a comma, you can write multiple. The way I'm writing this, you can write multiple helper. SR me 2. You can write like this also. SR me 2. Like, and you can call them in the controller. Helper SR me 1, SR me 2. You can call it. See, it'll work. As simple as that. Control S, mute if you don't have a doubt, because there's a lot of mic disturbance coming up. Now I can say A, search. See, it works. My logic is no more in the controller now. My logic is in the helper. Inside the controller, I'm calling the helper. Can I call multiple helper? Yes, you can. Right. Mostly all the common programs are written. Helper are used. These many days I was not writing helper because there is no common program. If you have any program which is common to multiple functions, for example, search me, creamy, both in search me and creamy, you have something common. Then we write in helper. We don't write twice. We don't need to write twice. Any common program, we can put them in where? In helper. Any common program, we can put them in helper. Clear, guys? Yes. What is a helper now? Anybody has any questions?
Yes, sir. I have one question.
Yes, tell me.
In one component controller, can we call another component helper class?
No, you cannot.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Next. If you want to call another component helper class, you cannot call. If you want to call another component controller, then aura method. With an aura method, we can do that. If you remember, parent is calling the child controller. The child controller will call the child helper. Ala cheskochu. Direct helper we cannot call.
Okay, sir. Okay, thanks.
Right? Welcome. Next. Any other questions? Anyone? Guys, able to understand helper? How to use a helper? Use of helper is rare. It is only when you have a common program. Whatever I just showed you, it is not a helper use. Helper are also JavaScript. Remember that. You can write a logic in the helper and then you can call the helper in the controller. Can I call multiple helper, Rupam? Yes. Helper dot, like this, multiple helpers can be called. CRME2. 2. Over. Here also CRME2 is there. Yes, there is nothing. I will have an alert message. Alert. Thank you. See, in the helper, I have two functions. SRME1, SRME2, and both of them I'm calling inside, right, inside the function, inside the controller. Button is calling search me will call this, search me will call this. Control S on the keyboard, go ahead and check it out, the output. A, search, thank you. See, both of them work. But you see that thank you message came first. Why? Because this was taking time to go to the database, search, pull the data, retrieve. By the time, this result came to the page, right, SRME2 got called. See, like this, you can call SRME3, SRME4, SRME5. N number of helpers can be called inside a controller. N number of, right, helpers can be called inside a controller. Clear, everyone? Perfect. Tomorrow we will have the last class of Lightning, and then we will start LWC from next week. Tomorrow we will see token, right? And we will see how to call Lightning in a Visualforce environment. We done with application? Yes. We done with component? Yes. We done with interface? Yes. We done with event? Yes. The only thing that is left is now Lightning token. We will do the token, and we will see how to take the Lightning component out to an Visualforce page. And after that, right, we will see Lightning interview questions, important topics, right? We will go to the code book, more and more practice if you want to do, there's a code book. And then next Saturday onwards, we will start your LWC classes, which will go on for another 5 weeks. That means another 1 more month, 1 month, another 1.5 months, you have to be with me, right? Another 5 to 6 weekends, you have to be with me in LWC class. That's it from my side today, right? Please practice, review these videos and check. So till then, thank you. Let's meet tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. So have a nice and wonderful day. Bye-bye, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.